Welcome to the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. Madam, let's see, we have Madam Clerk, circle, yeah. Okay, roll call, please.
Each member is acknowledging that they are attending the meeting via Zoom and that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, unless otherwise stated when I call your name. Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Here.
Commissioner Kniezek.
Here.
Commissioner Dobb.
Here.
Commissioner Baydoun.
Here.
Commissioner Basham.
Here.
Commissioner Scott. Chair Clark Coleman.
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Commissioner Scott might be signing back in. She was
Okay.
at
No, I'm on now. I was muted.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, Madam Clerk, item B.
B, approval of the November 11th, 2020 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Did I hear? What did I hear?
Support.
Who moved it?
They do.
Okay,
Oh.
it's properly moved by Commissioner.
I
Baker
look like him, but name's
and
Bash.
supported by Commissioner Scott. Are there questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, the motion carries. Can you please move the screen up so I can see what's happening here? Okay, now, next item, Madam Clerk.
C, old business. There is none.
Okay, go ahead.
Item D1, under new business, communication from the Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management forwarding the updated 2020 Wayne County Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Okay, do we have anyone here? Is Mr. Sturdivant here, or is there someone here representing?
This is Brian Herman, Wayne County Homeland Security Emergency Management Department Manager. This is a receive and file, no cash dollars involved. Every 5 years, our department is required by state law to update the Wayne County Hazard Mitigation Plan. We hired the vendor ASTI Environmental, who's helped us in the past with this. We paid them roughly $35,000, which we received a grant for, so there was no county funds expended in updating this plan. The county plan was submitted and approved by FEMA, and this is the final notification, and so this is a receive and file on your part, and the plan has been updated and approved by FEMA, and we are good to go for another 5 years.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Does anyone want to move this?
So moved.
Support.
Yeah, we're moving that. We're going to forward it. It's probably moved by Commissioner Basham, supported by Commissioner Scott. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, the motion carries. This will be a receive and file. Madam Clerk.
Item 2, communication from the Sheriff's Office forwarding the monthly report on overtime costs.
This is a receive and file also, or? Yes, it is. Okay.
So moved.
Well, let's make sure. Where is
Yes.
Samaya? Samaya, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning. First, I'd like to thank everyone on this call for your prayers and well wishes for our sheriff. Please keep him in your prayers. We're confident he will beat this virus. Just to let you know, he's still on the ventilator. He's in an induced coma. Your prayers are greatly appreciated, and your well wishes as well. This is a receive and file report. This is a new report that we're doing, which is on the actual overtime. We'll be sending this report on a monthly basis. I'm comparing fiscal year 2019 and 2020, as well as the first October of 2021 for the overtime. There's a lot of reasons for the overtime. One is our vacant positions. We have over 200 vacant positions right now. And we lose every year, we lose many positions, whether it's to retirement or resignations. Just to give you a synopsis of what happened last year, last year, fiscal year 2020, we hired 27 police officers, but we lost 98.
You lost how
positions.
many?
We lost 98. They either retired, resigned, or they got terminated.
Wow.
For this current fiscal year, so far we only have had one jailer's training. There are only 3 officers in that training, but we lost, just between October and November, we lost 8 positions. Either they retired or they resigned or they got terminated. So it's a battle for us. We're having a quite difficult time hiring and retaining police officers, and not just us, it's nationally. So this is the report that I'll be sending you every month on where we at with our overtime budget versus actual.
Okay. Do I have a
Madam-
motion for receive and
Madam
file?
Chair, may I make a
Yeah.
comment?
Sure, but I was going to get a motion, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, just, it's all about wages and benefits at the end of the day. And so it's just another note to commissioners, as us as a body, that we can't cut our way out of this. We wind up paying one way or the other. Either we're getting lawsuits because we don't have the proper amount of folks that are overseeing folks in the jail, or we're doing overtime when we could be hiring and paying more money for people that were, newer at the profession. I know that they offered to try to have a training last year, and they didn't have enough sheriffs to go do, because they charge you 6 at a time, as I understand it, and we didn't have the 6 to show up for the MCOLS certification. So, I mean, this is a big complex issue, but when we start talking about budgets, which we will, we need to take a look at, starting wages. And also, it was mentioned that maybe we give them a bonus for longevity, 1,000 the first year, 2,000 second year, something to give them an incentive to stay with the sheriff's department. Because why should we train them and then they move on to a different department? So this is a huge issue. I think that puts it right back in the laps of the commissioners and the administration. So that's my 2 cents.
And I could not agree with you more, Ray. Do they get a hazard pay of any kind, Samaya?
Through the chair, yes, they are getting hazard pay right now, but that's because of COVID-19.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, they are receiving hazard pay. Yes.
Okay.
So are the civilians as well.
Okay. All right. So do I have a motion to receive and file this?
I made a motion, Madam Chair.
Okay. And then who seconded it? Martha? Was it Martha?
I'll second it.
That's okay. Ray Basham had his hand up. I saw his hand.
Okay. All right.
It's properly moved by Commissioner Baydoun and supported by Commissioner Basham. So all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries. Madam Clerk.
Item 3, requesting commission approval of modification 1 to a grant award with the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs.
Do we have Tony? Are you here?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. Yes, I'm here on behalf of Prosecutor Worthy. I can speak to this if you wish.
Yes.
This is merely an extension of 9 months on a grant that we already have to do post-conviction testing of DNA material. This is to work to conclusion 300 cold cases that we have. The funding was provided so that we can afford to do the testing that is required. There's $451,238 in this grant. There is no county match required, and all we're asking is to do modification number 1 to carry this from January 1st of 2021 to September 30th of 2021.
Okay.
Move to support.
That was Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Yes.
Moved it. Do I have a support?
I'll support Commissioner Dobb.
Commissioner Dobbs supported it. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, this is an action item. So Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Kniezek,
Yes.
Commissioner Daub,
Yes.
Commissioner Baydoun,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Yes. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Item 4, requesting commission approval of modification 1 to a subrecipient agreement with Thomas M. Cooley Law School.
So,
Through the chair?
is this yours?
Yes. Tony Guerrero, Chief of Legislation, Grants and Community Relations for the Prosecutor's Office. This is a corollary to the previous item. The Innocence Project here, again, we're asking for modification number 1, only to take it another 9 months from January 1st of 2021 to the end of the fiscal year, September 30th of 2021. This is to perform DNA testing where biologic materials may be available now that were not testable in the past. The $252,601 remains. There's no county match. We're merely looking for an extension of 9 months.
Thank you, Tony. I am so in support of this program, the Innocence Project. They are doing some fantastic work.
Move to support.
So, who was that moved?
Baker McCormick.
Okay.
And I'll support it.
Properly moved by Commissioner Baker McCormick, supported by Commissioner Scott. Are there questions on this motion?
Through the chair, the prosecutor would like to thank you and the committee for your continued support of this project. This is, as you say, this is so important and it's life-changing for these poor people who may have been wrongly convicted.
This is fantastic.
Thank you.
Every person that we're able to find innocent is a testament to the importance of this project. It's just horrible, the thought that people stay in prison for 20, 30 years and they're innocent. So I'm just so pleased with this project, and I hope that we continue it, because I'm sure that there are a lot of people in prison who are innocent and will stay there for the rest of their lives. Okay, are there any we've got a motion, we've got a support. Are there any questions on this motion or comments? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Kniezek,
Yes.
Commissioner Daub,
Yes.
Commissioner Baydoun,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Yes. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Item 5, requesting commission approval of modification 2 to a lease agreement with Algonquin Jefferson Properties.
Okay. Let's see who's here to speak on behalf of this item.
Good morning. Through the chair, Ebony McCann, Health, Human Veteran Services, Adult Community Corrections.
Okay,
Good morning. The department is seeking permission to, we are attempting to request a commission approval, of a modification between Wayne County and Algonquin Jefferson Properties in the amount of $75,851.73 to pay for the operating expenses that were incorrectly charged to the blanket orders in 2000 and 2010. We have identified the error and we are requesting commission approval to retroactively add the amount in an attempt to restore the funding that was intended for the March 2020 rent under the 2010 lease agreement.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So
I'll
moved.
move.
Okay,
Support. Um,
Commissioner Basham moved it. Who supported it?
Commissioner Dobb.
Commissioner Dobbs seconded. Are there questions on this motion?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to have a better understanding. We're going back to a 2010 lease to refund monies. Is that?
So based on our research, and I believe that a representative from Corporation Counsel is present on the line as well. Based on research, we determined that the operating expenses that were covered under the 2000 lease were not charged to the 2000 lease. They were instead charged to the 2010 lease, which prompted a shortage in the amount that was left on the blanket for 2010. And so as a result, in an attempt to restore the funding for the original 2000 lease, we are requesting this retroactive contract modification.
Does that answer your question, Commissioner McCormick?
Yes, it does, but I guess for accounting purposes, is that something that would cause a problem? Do we have Mark Albo on the line?
Yes, Commissioner. No, it won't cause a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion on this? Oh, do we have a motion on it? We have a motion, right? Yes, we do.
Yes.
Are there any other questions on this motion? Although, well, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Kniezek,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Baydoun,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Yes. The motion carries. We have an addenda item here under new business. Madam Clerk.
Item 6, requesting commission approval of a retroactive 3-year contract with 1 2-year option to renew with Continental Caf DBA Canteen Corrections.
Okay.
Good morning. Through the chair, this is Sumaya Hart for the Sheriff's Office.
Sure, Samaya.
This is the commissary services that were bid out through the county, and Canteen was the winner. We had submitted the contract requesting commission approval back in July, early August, and that's when the budget came in. So this contract fell through the cracks, so it never was reviewed, so we never brought it up to your attention. Because we had on the contract upon commission approval, we had to take it back and change it for a hard date. So that's why it's retro. We never meant for it to be a retro. Canteen provides the commissary items for the inmates. They also provide indigent kits for indigent inmates, and we pay that directly to them. And this is part revenue generating contract and part expenditure contract. Any questions for me?
Do I have a motion on this?
So moved.
Support.
Properly moved by Commissioner Scott, supported by Commissioner Baydoun. Oh, this is an action item. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Kniezek,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Baydoun,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Yes. The motion carries. Madam Clerk.
E, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I have not been informed of any other such other matters.
F, public comments.
Okay, would you unmute the The public? Okay, well, it looks like we got a child. Looks like the child would like. Okay, is there anyone from the public who is on the line who would like to comment on any of the items that we've discussed here today? Is there anyone from the public who is on the line who would like to make a comment on any of the items that we've discussed today? Okay, hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Adjournment.
Motion?
Move to adjourn.
Support.
It's been properly moved by Commissioner Dobbs and supported by Commissioner Baydun. The meeting is adjourned.